let's get out the Jabberwocky. What is this actually called? It is actually called the Jabberwocky. Are you serious? The Jabberwock. Oh, that is so awesome. Okay.
Join the team.
Hey team, it's McGuire Review, and today we're going to take a look at another WizKids product, which is the new Pathfinder Battles Darklands Rising. Now, this is a curated set here that we're going to look through the confidential box set. So we're going to see some of the more rare, more sought-after figures that are going to be in these sets. If you do want to see the sets, I do have them here. There we go. So here is the box that they will be coming in, the standard booster boxes we've got right here. You'll get 4 collectible figures inside of each one of these. Generally, you'll get a larger one and then 3 other smaller ones. And this set has just got a I'll just go ahead and leave the box up there. This set has got a fantastic... Well, you know what? I don't want to block Bear, so I'll leave the box right there. It's got a fantastic set of miniatures that are in it. And again, and I say this every time a new set comes out because it literally is true. These continue to get better and better with every set that comes out. It's really impressive at this point what you're getting in a box, in a booster box of these for the price point these are coming for. Which is not expensive when you're looking at getting 4 of these, especially with some of these larger models. I mean, some of these larger models that are in this set, you would pay that price for just that figure. And again, if it's a rare one that's sought after, that could go on aftermarket for $30, $40, $50 sometimes if it's the most sought after figure. So you're getting some resellable and some reusable value in that as well. If you're a collector, if you want to hang on to it, if you want to sell them later, if you want to trade them with your friends, there's a lot of value that you're getting in these boxes as well if you do collect these, and that's what you like to do. So here in the box, we'll go ahead and open this up, take this top piece off. Okay, so let's get into each one of these figures. You'll be able to see these up close on the miniature cam. We're going to do the smaller ones first, then we're going to do the bigger ones. So we'll go through, we'll put a few of them at a time on the miniature cam, and just so awesome. The amount of translucent material that they're using, that plastic, the paint jobs that they're getting on those are getting better and better. And the actual paint job on the figures are getting tighter and tighter. Like the amount of detail that is on this skull that's just sort of, this looks like it's almost like, just etched on that skull. Looks amazing. The greens, the teal green and the brown on the pants here, and the striping and how tight that striping is, looks awesome. Here, and they are utilizing these are starting to utilize clear bases, which is really nice because, and I actually really like the clear bases. The clear bases aren't for everyone, and I've heard this in comments out there, but I actually really like the clear bases from a review and a usability perspective, because then you can put these right on the maps and you can still see down through what would be on the map. If there's a printed, trap or a special space on the map, you can still see it because you can see through these bases. And it just, I don't know, it makes it look more, to me, it just makes it look more realistic. Because it really does, when it's sitting on a map, it really does look like it's just kind of standing on the map because the base is clear. So I really am a big fan of these new clear bases. One downturn from that is when you want to flip it over and read it, it is a little bit more difficult to read it. You got to kind of have to hit the light. It's done in a very light white sort of outline of what it says, and then you can kind of read what it is. Okay, so this says Undefan Tormentor? Undefahan Tormentor? I don't know, I can't read that very well. Again, they are much harder to read. 42 out of 50, but I wouldn't, I don't know that I would go back and make that line, I don't know that I would go back and say, oh, make it black so it's easier to read, or make them dark again. I don't think I would do that. I think having the clear base is the way to go. This one here is 41 out of 50. This is an eater, Jinx Eater. So you can see that there. Really cool. Okay, let's get the next one out. We've got a Desirak, 39 out of 50. This is an interesting model here, and again, a lot of detail that's on that model. Next one here, we've got a, this is a 40 out of 50. This is a character, Sihora Quindove Pathfinder. That's pretty cool. Oh, I love this sculpt. Oh, and she's actually holding one of the Pathfinder compasses that hold Aeon Stones. That's really cool. All right. Oh, look at this model. This model's really interesting looking. This is the Zon Kuthon Midnight Lord, 44 out of 50. This is a really cool one. It's got I like the use of sort of that translucent along the bottom, kind of dark sort of magic almost, and all the chains. It's got kind of a pinhead feel to it. I don't know. That's pretty awesome. That's a good sculpt. This one here is highly dynamic. I'm loving this one with the kind of the druid whip. The name of the actual whip is not coming to mind now, but it's like this vine thorn whip, which is pretty awesome. Olivra Azrine. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. 37 out of 50. Whoa! Clear base slipped right out of my hands. All right, looks pretty awesome. That may be one of my favorites out of one of the smaller sculpts so far. Now we're getting into a little bit of larger, not the tiny sculpts. This one's a Witchword 43 out of 50. That one's got a really unique look to it, kind of a forearm. I really like how they did the translucent magic kind of in these hands, and then these hands here using sort of just like to come down for the jabs. That's got a really nice dynamic look to it as you're going into combat with that. I really like the purples that they're using now on all these sets. It's a very deep royal kind of purple. This one looks really good with the purple that it's got on it. Nice slender model, which is pretty cool, but it's got a lot of detail. This one's got sort of a level of elegance to it. Not something you would look at and be like, oh, that's elegant, but it's got this level of elegance to the design of this one. Okay, this is an animated dream, 38 of 50. Oh, this is very cool. Have that one there. Okay, now we're going to get into some of these larger ones. Loving this one here. This is a cavern troll. I do not have any cave trolls. This is really cool, this cavern troll, and it's all done in a rock with this kind of metallic. It's almost a metallic like teal paint that has all of the spikes and the growth kind of coming off of it there. Love that one. That's great. Okay, now we got this little bug. This is a stag beetle. It's a giant stag beetle, 30 of 50. Really cool. It's got some interesting coloring with the yellows and the oranges and the purples, and it doesn't look like kind of your standard bug or your standard beetle because of that. And I do like the fact that they went with those colors. And this one almost feels like if it was to be kind of airbrushed painted is what the feel you get on this paint job. And it is done with a top coat layer of somewhat of a metallic. It's not a shiny metallic, but it's definitely more than a satin. It's got a little bit of gleam to it as I kind of turn it there on the light. So that's done really well. That's a really unique piece, to tell you the truth. I can't remember I think the last time I saw something like that was on their last set, which had like a giant snail, and the shell of that snail was very similar to the paint job and the approach that they took here with this giant beetle. So you can see you're getting different types of styles here with these as well. Let's get this big woolly mammoth out here. This is the Mammoth Rider, 36B. Oh, it's a B. Nice. Of 50. Wonder what that A looks like. Oh, now I'm interested on that A. So this one has succumbed to what you will find in some of these, which, again, we've talked about this many times. It's not that big of a deal. See how this spear right here is bent, and you think, oh man, it's bent, now it's ruined. It does kind of still look cool like that, but all you have to do is dip that into some hot water and just pull that right out, and then dip it in cold water, or you can technically just hold it for a second, and it will stay right there and it'll be perfect again. So I will be doing that here to fix this one. Sometimes you can kind of just bend them, but you know they'll slowly kind of go back. I want to make it just perfect, so I will be fixing that. No big deal. Loving the way this is. The eyes are done really, really nice and tight. I mean, the eyes are almost becoming almost like a level of a decal. And you know what? I don't want to say that it is because I don't know that it is, but they're starting to get so good they almost look like decals. They're so tight and so nice to where like years and years and years ago, those eyes would be, it would try to be painted and manufactured, and sometimes they didn't come out perfect, and sometimes there was paint kind of slopped a little bit. It's just not even an issue anymore. Everything is so tight and crisp around those eyes. It looks awesome. You can see the eye color with that nice light brown. The tusks look good. How they're washed. I think everything looks really good. I may have gone, if I was painting this personally, I may have gone with a little bit of more of an ivory feel on those tusks. These feel a little grayish white to me. I would have went a little bit more of those ivory tones, but still looks really, really good. And again, I think they were going for that color contrast between the tusks and this brown here. You start putting too much brown wash on this, or you go too ivory, and you're going to kind of lose it a little bit, where that gives you a nice high color pop in contrast. So that looks awesome. I love that. And I love the scaling of that guy, which he is a full-size character. You can see there that's riding on the back of that mammoth, and it's scaled perfectly. So that was really well done. All right, here's a big shiny mess. This thing is a blob of what is this? Flesh warp, ear and curse, flesh warp, ear and curse, 45 of 50. Wow, look at this thing, and it's got a nice thick coat of like a gloss finish all over it, just to give it that sort of slimy, wet look, which is something that they didn't used to do in the past, and now they're able to do that. So you'll see the differences, right? These are all the things that we're getting with these newer sets for, frankly, about the same price point. And maybe some of these, depending on what's in it, might be a little bit higher for those, those box sets. I've seen some that retail for $19.99, sometimes there's $14.99, but they're all about the same price. But you're getting just such a higher quality paint job and different types of things. So now we're starting to see more and more of this, that slick look, that wet look that's on there. This is probably my favorite one. I don't know. There's some amazing ones in this one. This is probably my favorite one. I like to call this the Groot. It's not the Groot, obviously. Arborian Regent. 34 of 50. And just looks awesome. I love how they went with not just the sticks, but they also put the little trees tops on the top of that, which I think looks awesome. The eyes look cool. Very beady little eyes look really cool. And it is all, browns, light browns, maybe a little bit of yellowish gold color, and then some washing. And I just think this looks really good. I love this. Love this model. Now let's get into the largest models in the set. This one here is very heavy, so I can tell you, if you ever pick up one of these boxes and it's got some serious weight to it, this has got some weight, but this has got some serious weight. And there's another one here that's even heavier than this. You've got this one or this next one we're going to look at. This spider is so cool. I love how they did this web that comes up the back that's holding it, and it's coming down from that web. It's got some poison, just goo kind of dripping out of the mouth, and it is sort of flexible. Just really, really well done. Everything about it, the green they use, it's got this like neon, just poisonous look to it. The purple was an awesome choice and really looks good against this web color and then this green. So I love the purple, then those black talons and sort of the spike here all to the end. It just gives it this deadly look. The Lang Spider, 35 of 50. That is an amazing, amazing piece in this set. I can promise you this one's going to hold some big value. And this bad boy right here is a monster. Look how tough that steam. What is it? Is that a steam? No, it's a adamantine golem. Oh, nasty. 33 out of 50. Look at this giant smokestack just coming off the back of it there. And it's got all of these, I want to say these are actual glass, like actual glass beads. Those do not feel like plastic. These literally feel like little glass pieces and little glass beads that are in there. So you get 3 that are on kind of the helmet there, 1 in the front. You get them, it's hard to see here, you'll see it on the miniature cam. You get them here in these grates there on the kneecaps, and then you get a giant one there on the back. Yeah, that's got to be glass. I mean, they're just these big glass beads that are in this thing. How awesome is that? Oh, you even got them on the shoulder pads there. I didn't notice. So the level of detail and design that's gone into this one, you pull it out and you think, oh, it's kind of a basic model. But then when you really start to look it over, it's like, no, wow, there's actually a lot that goes into the building and the materials of this one. And this one carries some serious weight too. This one's probably the heaviest, but these both are pretty heavy. Like you pick up a box and it's like, oh, this guy's in it, okay? So that's one way to tell, I guess. But there you go. Absolutely amazing on that piece. That one is nuts. All right, now we got this one, and then I think we have one more, which is a dragon. This is another Shoggoth. This is a 50. You know, they got these in. This is somewhat of a Cthulhu type thing. They got these in this Pandemic Cthulhu game, actually. These are cool. So it's just a mess of just teeth and goo and eyeballs. I mean, this thing just looks deadly. It's not something you're probably going to want to run into. That looks like it would offer a number of ways to mess up a party, but that's actually got some good size to it. It does have sort of a satin, not a slick, shiny finish like this one has, but it has sort of a smooth satin kind of finish with a little bit of glare, just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. Looks like they touched it up in places with kind of a slicker looks. They didn't want it to look like it was totally wet, but still a little bit shiny. And so you get that with that one. So again, you can see that they're not just generically, it's like, oh, it's a monster that should look kind of wet. So we'll just take it and we'll dip it and we'll take it and we'll dip it. There's much more care and manufacturing that's going into these to really make each piece feel different and unique. Okay, so here is, you know what, there's more than a single piece left. So let's get out the Jabberwocky. What is this actually called? It is actually called the Jabberwocky. Are you serious? The Jabberwock. Oh, that is so awesome. Okay, so let's get this out. Oh, that's funny. All right, so this looks awesome. It's got its own base. Now we're going to put its wings on. It looks kind of cool like that. But it's got its own base here with this rock that's all sculpted, which I think looks really cool. They could have just set it right on, but I like that pose they went with the actual... Now this is going to have to be ripped. But I like that pose they went with where it's kind of wrapped around that rock. Let's make sure we get these in right, and those are going to snap in like that. You want to get them, snapped in good, because otherwise they'll leave. Like this one isn't in all the way. See, there we go. That's much better. You want to get them snapped in really good, so you get you get the best look, and you don't minimize sort of the cracks of how the sculpt is built. Let's put this one on. Oh, this looks so awesome. Look at this. This is nuts. Okay. All right, got the wings on that one. Now, I did notice, and again, this is just my sort of preview kit. I'm sure they would be like that. You do want to really, get those wings pushed in. But look at the spread and the size on that model after it's put together. Oh, so awesome. I love almost the beak that this one has, with the way they've sculpted the teeth, the tongue full open, ready to come down for a big chomp, and sort of those tentacles coming out. It's got a real deep cut, very, very deep reptilian, almost alligator-like texture to the wings with like these little like knobs and nubs. I really like the way that this is sculpted on these wings. It's super deep, where then all through the rest of the model, it's got more of that dragon feel, that kind of scales that they're cut and sculpted in. But the wings just have this amazing look to them, the way that they're done, and the way that they're colored too. It's just this deep, like alligator reptilian type look. Awesome. That sculpt came out awesome. Okay, that is all of the Jabberwock. And then we do have some other ones here. Let's see what this is. There's a few others that are in here we will take a look at. Oh, this is cool. Kind of a little octopus. Quopo pack. 48 of 50, looks like. And it's kind of a squid octopus type, probably more of a squid type look. Character there with sort of this like big tail-like thing coming in. It's a really unique aquatic looking creature that you would go up against. So that's pretty awesome. And it's using that deep purple, but you can see the difference there that this is more of a matted purple, where this one is got a little bit more of that wet shininess on it, like this sculpt. And it's fully done like this sculpt is to give it that full water look. Okay. Next one we've got is, there's a lot of them in here. Oh, this one's sweet. Norn, 46 of 50. This is an interesting sculpt here. Got a pair of scissors in the hand, ready to cut. Done really well. I love the hair braided sculpt. These are not, at first I thought it was kind of like a dread, but it's an actual braids that are coming down the back, all the way down that back cloak. And then they each have sort of a little silver piece on there at the end of that braid. Very cool. Again, eyes look tight, amazing. The lips, the eyebrows, just everything is just so tight, looks so good. You can see all the detail here around the bottom of the cloak. Looks awesome. Let's see. Ooh, that kind of scared me. All right, some type of a Emperor Cobra. 29 of 50. The Emperor Cobra. Now, this is nice. The way they've done the black here, it looks like they actually came back and sort of hit it with a dry brush of silver at the very tips of this black to just like bring all the scaling out that's on this Cobra. And then it's got kind of a bluish hint that's under it there for that coloring. So that's an interesting coloring choice they went with. I think it actually looks really cool. And then you've got your little spikes that come off the side, which look really cool as well. Now, I will say a few of my spikes, well, two of my spikes got broken. They might be actually in there. It looks like two of those little spikes actually got snapped off. Now, that may be because how this particular package was all packaged in there. I don't know that you'd run into that within a booster box, but I'm going to call that out because that's the way it came out of the box. But other than that, sculpt looks awesome. Let's put that right there. Here we got a little one. We got 1, 2, 3 left. So let's pull these out. Got 3 left. It's like the magic box. I keep going in here and there's like, oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. All right, this one here. Ooh, this is a good looking one. We got a Drow Priestess. I don't have a lot of Drow models. This is cool. 21 of 50. This looks really cool. She is looking at her hand like holding something, but you can't see what it is. You don't see if there's anything. Her hand is just sort of painted. She's just kind of looking at her hands. Maybe she's getting ready to cast something or call upon some power. I really like the weapon choice here, as well as how this robe comes down, hits the ground, and then sort of comes out. That's a cool looking choice. And I've seen other models like this in the past that use the darker base, and you don't get as much of that dynamic feel as you do in this one, with the cloak coming out and hitting the ground and coming out in front of her. But with this clear base, you're getting, it just feels more, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it looks better. It looks definitely better, and you get more of that dynamic pose and look that sculpt is offering. Oh, this is a neat one. This is a Blood Mist. 20 of 50 Blood Mist. Oh, that is such a cool little sculpt. It's basically like a skeleton type model. Maybe not a skeleton. It's human form, but it's something else because it's got like sort of this fin kind of bone on the back here, and the jaw is definitely different. It's almost like I want to say it feels like a cobalt almost sort of in the head sculling, but then more human in the rib and the back and the arms. It's a really interesting look. Then all coming out of sort of, I guess, blood. I mean, it's called the blood. It's the blood mist. So really cool. Got some dark, looks like got some black washing that's kind of put on various pieces and up into that rib cage to really bring out the clarity of that. So we'll put that right up front. And then we've got one more like kind of medium size, it looks like here. And this one is, what's in the bag? This one is the Wood Giant. Nice, to kind of build out the giant lines. Let's put these down here. Okay. And again, you've been checking these out on the up close miniature cam. Really like the look of this. How cool. It's got sort of the elfish type, ears, the green tone, skin with some washing. I really like the way they've done the outfit with all the buckles and the leather straps hanging down. There's actually sort of a knife that's back behind this bow that's being held. Really cool. Little bit of bendage on the bow there, so I'll fix that a little bit. And the bow string was interesting. It's like this thick cords almost that you'd kind of expect with a giant character like this, that they'd be using just big cords for that bowstring versus, anything else that would normally be used. Looks very cool. And the bow is completely woodland. It's made of like branches, and you can even see some green still on the tips there, even some rocks as it's all kind of tied together. This one looks awesome. This is, again, the Wood Giant, 28 of 50. Very cool. Add that to the Giant collection, and that looks awesome. So there it is. That's the confidential, kind of curated box, the promo, the preview box of a lot of the more sought after sculpts. A lot of the cool sculpts. Again, they're all awesome. Man, I wish so awesome. So here's the box again. Pathfinder Battles, brand new, Darklands Rising. You're going to be able to get this in the February time frame. Pre-orders are up right now. If you want to get this set, I highly recommend it. As you can see how awesome it is. If you want to pre-order, if you don't want to pre-order, and just go to your local game store and they have the boosters, and get yourself a booster, then that's a good way to go as well to support those local gaming stores. So hit that like, hit the subscribe below to join the team. Keep rolling them crits. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time.